Welcome to the Big Movie Mouth Off. We're here at Brewby Cinepub reviewing some movies today. I'm Jimmy Martin with Slug Magazine.
And I'm Jeff Weiss with MSN Entertainment. You can find Big Movie Mouth Off on Xfinity, Utah On Demand. Under Salt Lake Alternative, there's a folder for us, or on Channel 6. You can actually find it in regular showtimes.
You know, today's episode is brought to you by our great friends at PC Laptops, and we're going to start off the show with reviewing a new dark comedy called Horrible Bosses. Now, the premise behind this, if you're a film buff, you'll kind of recognize it as Strangers on a Train, Alfred Hitchcock's classic. If you're maybe less of a film buff, you'll know it as Throw Mama from the Train. That's a pretty good one.
By the way, the film makes fun of that.
Yeah, and they poke themselves in the stomach for that one. They know what they're doing. So, basically the premise is you've got three actors. You've got Jason Bateman, who is, his boss is Kevin Spacey, probably one of the most evil, twisted people I've ever seen in my life on screen.
Very conniving.
Oh, good. Then you've got Charlie Day, everybody knows him from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and his boss is the beautiful Jennifer Aniston, who is a sex-crazed maniac who basically tortures him and sexual harassment like you have never seen before on screen. And then you have Jason Sudeikis, who actually loves his job because it is run by a Mr. Donald Sutherland, an old man that just loves him. Except
he dies.
And his company is taken over by Colin Farrell, who is a coked-out whack job.
With a really bad comb over.
So with all of these situations, the three men decide to kill their bosses. I mean, that's probably the most logical answer to do it. And basically they get information on how to do so by Jamie Foxx, whose name I cannot repeat on screen without getting censored horribly. And I want to say wackiness ensues, but it
does, and darkness ensues.
You want one?
It's 8:15 a.m.
It's 18-year-old scotch. If you want a promotion, you gotta earn it.
Did I tell you that Harkin tricked me into having a drink at 8 o'clock this morning?
I thought he was going to give you a promotion.
Yeah, no, he is.
I have decided who I want to be our new vice president of sales. Me.
What'd he say?
Nick, please, we're in the middle of a meeting.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'll just attribute this to your drinking problem.
Unless your boss isn't sexually harassing you.
See if this thing is working. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a squirter, Dale.
You know, yours doesn't sound that bad.
We need to trim some of the fat.
What do you mean by trim the fat?
I want you to fire the fat people. They're lazy and they're slow and they make me sad to look at. You can start with Large Marge. Marge, can you come in here, please?
What? You would have to admit our lives would be easier if our bosses weren't alive.
You can fire Professor Xavier.
You mean Hank?
Creeps me out, rolling around all day in a special little secret chair.
I don't care how bad our bosses are. We're not murderers.
Oh, Dale, you know that I like to fool around.
Oh.
This is bad. Bad, bad, bad.
You know what? That's crossing the line.
When we were talking about this the other day, or a couple episodes ago, about Bad Teacher.
Right.
And the way for that film to work for me was to go over the top raunchy.
Embrace it.
Embrace your raunchiness.
Yes.
And it didn't.
Nope.
Horrible Bosses absolutely embraces their raunchiness.
Yes. Sex, drugs.
And everything in between.
Absolutely. Which is really funny when you consider that this was directed by Seth Gordon.
Yeah.
The guy who directed the very excellent documentary feature, King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters.
But in that documentary though, the guy definitely has comedic timing.
Yes.
He knows what he's doing, but to see him transfer from documentary to feature narrative it's a sight to be seen. I mean, he definitely knows what he's doing.
And he's lucky because he has a very talented comic cast.
Yeah.
They all know their roles, especially Jason Bateman and Charlie Day, and step into them quite admirably. Maybe the bigger surprises are the supporting cast members, in particular Jennifer Aniston.
Absolutely.
And Colin Farrell,
Farrell.
who I think in several respects actually steals the film.
Every scene he's in, he absolutely steals it, and you actually want more of it. Sadly, he's probably one of the side characters that don't get as much screen time, but when he's there, he nails it. But when you mention Jennifer Aniston, though, this is the thing with her. She always plays the same role. It's the girlfriend who gets dumped by the boyfriend, and you feel bad for it. And I almost think she's living that in real life and on screen.
Yeah, watching it's kind of tragic.
Yeah, but this time, the stuff that comes out of that girl's mouth, I mean, sailors are gonna come out blushing.
I think I can make out our little friend right there.
Stop it.
Ooh, Shabbat Shalom. Somebody's circumcised.
Okay. Listen, can we stop doing this thing here?
Why? Because you have a girlfriend.
Well, she's not just my girlfriend anymore. We're engaged now.
What?
We're engaged.
Shut up.
It's ridiculous. And the other thing is that girl has made a deal with the devil because she is getting sexier the older she gets. She's pulling the Helen Mirren like I have never seen. And the clothes she wears, whoo, I need a cup of ice.
Caliente.
I was surveilling your boss. She's incredibly
Don't talk about how hot she is.
She makes herself a little snack, a popsicle, a banana, and finally a hot dog. And eating them in that weird order, that's not a proper meal. It's cold to hot.
Now, that being said, screenwriters who include John Francis Daly, who gets a small role in it, you might recognize him as the kid in Freaks and Geeks, they paint themselves into a corner.
Explain why you're doing 61 in a 25 zone.
I was drag racing.
In a Prius.
I don't win a lot.
Where no matter which way they go, it's going to be unsatisfying, and they pick possibly the messiest way possible to resolve this. Sort of unsatisfying for me.
I don't think there's really any other way to kind of get out of this mess.
No, that's what I mean by painting in the corner.
But I wasn't really upset by it. I mean, it does get way out of control.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like, what is going on? How did that happen? Who's doing what? But I think the way the tone of this movie is set up is that's the kind of way you have to end it. It can't just be simple and
it's got to be huge and exaggerated.
Exactly.
By the way, I should mention, if you like the Colin Farrell character, you should stick around for the final credits. You get more Colin Farrell. Some really funny Colin Farrell, actually.
Him, I mean, I've never seen so much wrong, like with political correctness in a character in a long time. Yeah. I mean,
he has fun with it too.
Oh, you can tell he's having a blast with it.
Which is not to slight Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey I've seen Kevin Spacey kind of play this character before in Swimming with Sharks.
Right.
And it's not
revelatory, but he's fine.
Oh, he's just, it's something he's good at, and he did it well, once again. But to see somebody like Colin Farrell, have a horrible comb over and doing more drugs than I thought humanly possible, then that's the surprise of the film.
Absolutely. For the performances in the darkness of the first 2/3 of the film, 2.5 stars for me.
Yeah, I think I'm right above you. I enjoyed it. I laughed. I haven't laughed this hard in a long time. I probably think it's the funniest movie since Bridesmaids. And
certainly.
And I want to go see it again, and I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars, and good job on you.
And coming up after the break, we'll see if Zookeeper, starring Kevin James, can live up to those comics high points, right?
We'll see. We'll see.